Greetings. I couldn't help but notice that my burn deck I use to gun through red spellcasting quests and kill X amount of enemy creature quests was winning quite a few of the games, quite a few of the matches that it was in, so I thought maybe a slightly powered up version. It's still a bit of a stack of cards thrown together out of what I've got, but still. I went for a bit of Rakdos slow burn, so I had a couple of these guys lying around. They're feisty, threw them in. This guy's, you want haste. Some old shocks, some new shocks, spike field hazards. These are new, these are shiny, I'm liking these, I'm using these a lot. Tin streets to spam out guys and dudes and things. These kooky beasts, because they drop low and they hit hard. Shadow Spear's been coming in handy, so it's a bit of a Rakdos deck in the slightest, tiniest, most insignificant way. I've just got a couple of Heartless Acts for finishing off bigger creatures that I don't have enough damage to finish off with one of my red spells. And Sanctums of Stone Fangs, because you can just pop them in there. They take up the mantle of doing constant damage to my enemy, but they also give me a bit of a shufty life intake that helps me out. Maybe I should run more Cinderclasm, I'm not sure, but mostly it's just all burny face nukes. Mostly any target, but some of these beefier ones are just creatures and planeswalkers. Should probably run more Bone Crusher Giants in something like this. Faithful End, any target. So my only big creatures for the most part are recurring ones. I had a bigger Phoenix, I got rid of that. You don't want anything. This has very slow land drops, so you don't want anything too big and clunky in this. Got some relics in as well. Throw in a kicked relic down the track and that really powers you up. Bit of anti-planeswalker power. So these are spell lands, which means Emperor Cleave, of course. Stonecoil Serpents play on curve, so if you've got a bit more mana later and all these lowbie creatures, it can be a lowbie creature or it can be a big creature. So as I say, it's a token Rakdos deck, so I've got a couple of swamps, very few mountains because I've got so many spell lands, and some Fabled Passages so that I can just snaffle a swamp and crack on with using my very few black magic spells. Might be changing, but still a work in progress. But I'll switch it out for my other burn deck. So this should be a newer and more improved burn deck. The other one, as I say, was just for racking up those cast red spells, kill enemies type quests. Whereas this one might actually be able to kill things. If it had land, technically I can get away with only 2 land in this deck, but it's less than ideal. But I do like to have 7 cards, especially if I'm being the purest of evil mono red players. Well, do I get in ultra early with one of these crazy things? Drop it, play it, drop it again? Some kind of shenanigans like this? I think that's what's going on here. I think we get straight in for 2. Get my land back. Possibly do the same thing next turn. We'll see what their deal is. Pop out the deck assistant. See what's going on. And my erstwhile enemy is looking at me and thinking, how dare you bring mono red to the casual queue? On the other hand, this is a silly burn deck that shouldn't work, unless of course burn decks are back somehow. What do you reckon? Rinse and repeat? I'm thinking rinse and repeat. We're going to be behind, but it's a worthy experiment. Let's see how they like this action. Boppity bop. Can't ping 2 lands back. Well now, I'm going to have to not attack with them in order to get any lands down. This is a true fact. Oh well, we can get some kind of slower land arrangement. I already have a swamp in hand, so I won't grab a swamp. Interesting, I'm going to have some flyers on my hands, I can tell. So, it's my cheapest, nastiest nuke. It's a bit too cheap. It's a bit expensive. Well, it's going to have to be one of those. Back down goes the mountain. Out comes the rebuke. Not going to take advantage of that because I want my lands. That's alright. I can show some mercy. Revitalizations. Okay. Let's put down something. Can attack. Should I bounce my lands back again? Let's keep our lands down for now. That's a Miletus. Can't question that card. Hello, Embercleave. Okay, so nothing to remove. Play that guy. And 3 and yes, I think so. You know what comes now. Let me just double check my map here. Got 2 reds. It's going to make it 3 cheaper. I should be good to go, shouldn't I? Ricky boom. Hey, there's your wall. You know you wanted that wall. Cautioned. Life gain. Should I entirely approve of life gain? Ah, now the tactician. Tactician's fun. So, We've got 3 mana and we need to kill 2 things. If I swing in madly, it's going to block me with the wall. I'm going to suffer some damage. Haha. Damn. I was just thinking, shoot them in the face with the nuke. Attack, shoot them in the face with the nuke would be the way to go there. More creatures and less burn than my previous version of the deck, but seems to do the trick. Let's give it another quick blast on the casual queue. As long as I'm not technically mono red. I deployed a swamp. I didn't use any of my black magical spells in that particular matchup, but I did drop a swamp, so I was technically a Rakdos deck. I'd like to throw in some more cards. I'm thinking Revenge of Ravens and Underworld Dreams, that sort of thing. Enchantments that... oh well, I'm trying my luck on this hand. Should I just put the hazard down first? That might be the way to go. Cove near mountain. So nice. So, no targets. I'm just going to be Captain Aggression here. A little bit of that. Can't afford to be nice if you're doing the red thing. Okay. Shoehorn some more mountains in. Now, do I want to waste anything on that guy? I wouldn't have thought so. It asks you if you want to kick it when it knows you can't kick it. Of course I want to kick it. I want to kick it so bad. But no. I can only play it for free. So for free shall I play it. Don't have my 4 damage in. Frustrations. I do have can't attack unless you control another creature power 4 or greater. So I've got a bit of time to wait on that guy. On the other hand, I've got nothing to do with my mana except throw Fateful Ends and the like around. So I might just double whammy him and it'll give me a scry. A Heartless Act. I don't have a black mana source yet. So why is it my opponent's turn? I used the wrong spells, that's why. Whoops. Well, that's embarrassing. That's the spell I was trying to remember. So, Horn Bash, Trample Counter, Non-Human, blah de blah. Don't need Trample Guy hanging around. That was the spell I intended to use. Not that I had it, but I thought for some reason I was casting two mana spells, and then I promptly cast a 3 mana spell and used the bulk of my mana and basically wasted that spell, except for a small bit of scrying. which was useful. I did not want a heartless act. I'm not super afraid of getting 1 damage from that guy. I could kill him with the spike field. Would clear the way. What I really want is the land, so I can play multiple snazzy things, such as not the endless amount of mountains you were going to give me anyway. Damn it, I would have just drawn land. This game. Not going to bop me in my precious, precious face, are you? Ah. Gave him a bit of a buff first. What a guy. Okay, am I wasting perfectly powerful spells on these losers? I guess I am, considering how much damage he does. Plus it'll give me yet another little scry, which is always handy. It's good to have a scry. See what would have happened? Would have ended up with a stupid mountain. Yeah, could kill him, but what would really be the point? Here he comes. Hurting my poor face again. Stone coil serpent for 5, you say? That'll do. Let's see if he's got removal. I bet he's been saving it all up, just waiting for me to actually deploy something that he can get his teeth into. Okay. What other options? Well, let's see what happens when I try and hurt him with this thing. He will allow it. Okay. What's he got planned? Shelf stuff. So, seems like I'll do that. See, horn beetle, my lord. Horn beetle. I like this scry effect. I'll keep using my scry effects. Shadow sphere is acceptable. Shadow sphere is wholly acceptable. Don't need to blast anything else. So, unless he's got something very tricky up his sleeve, it appears that despite my endless incompetence, I might have grabbed another win here. Technically I should just flail in and he's probably going to just pop himself any second, but let's just do that. Aha, it's got some tricks. That was the wrong trick to pull. Oh dear. Double the power of target creature until end of turn. I say, I think he was playing silly buggers at the end there. Well, there you go. There's the purest of pure evil. Red chaos with just a hint of black evil. Unfortunately, in these two games, I haven't got to play any black spells when I was warming up. I was dropping a whole bunch of these Sanctum of Stone Fangs, and they're very handy because they're just slowly slurping away at the other guy while I'm wiping out his creatures with burn, and it's topping me back up. So Sanctum of Stone Fangs and my Shadow Sphere are my two life gainy sort of tricks for this deck. And as you can see, the Stone Coil Serpent is no bad thing in a red deck, because you can drop him as a 1 or a 2 or drop him as a whatever. And in that last game there, I just dropped that 5/5 Stone Coil. Don't really have, I've got a 4/5 there, that might be my next biggest guy. Don't have a lot of opportunity to necessarily drop big things like that, except using the sheer trickery of the Stone Coil. Throw in more Bone Crusher Giants, I'm thinking, because they're multi-purpose. But overall, as you can see, it was just sort of smashing things. I want to put more black magic into it, but I don't know what, because what do I take out? And it's all just so burny, and the burn, as you could see, was just depriving them of any military force and taking care of business for me. So not sure what the next step in the slow burn is, but Rakdos slow burn seems to be a thing. So I'm going to leave the video there and get back to you with probably a weirder and jankier deck than this one. This one's bordering on the spiky and streamlined. It's downright swish. So I'll go back to tinkering with strange tutoring decks with 90 cards in them or whatever else I've been doing lately, and make you a video about some of that. I'll see you next time.